depending on how much money you've got, you could, let's say, invest 20,000-30,000 pounds into 2 or 3 or 4 different businesses and then rely on some return on investment, which could work well. And if you're diversified by investing into 4 different types of businesses, you spread the risk and hopefully you'll make some money from all of them. Investments can be made pretty much in almost anything, but the most common ones, generally speaking, are shares, bonds, and the property market, and they are best suited for usually long-term financial growth. I know some people go short on shares, and then you've got crypto and all of that, but generally speaking, when people invest money in there, people, especially people who are risk averse to some extent, will kind of go into the FTSE 100, say, and go for the safer investments. But you don't have to go for the FTSE 100. There are other options available to you too, which I'm not going to cover on this particular video. But alongside this, of course, you can also make an investment in a business. So you could either enter into some kind of a joint venture on a one-off project, or you could be a silent investor, or you could invest and then obviously work in that business too, therefore or thereby creating an additional stream of income. And depending on how much money you've got, you could, let's say, invest 20,000-30,000 pounds into 2 or 3 or 4 different businesses and then rely on some return on investment, which could work well. And if you're diversified by investing into 4 different types of businesses, you spread the risk and hopefully you'll make some money from all of them, which will be good. But even if you make good money on one of them, average money on another, and 2 don't work so well, you're still going to be pretty well off, hopefully. And investments can bring in high returns, like I said, but that does come with risk. So you'll obviously know that the higher the risk you take, the higher the return that should be available. It doesn't always work like that, but that's how generally the system works. But there's no guarantee that obviously you're going to get a good return, and there's no guarantee that the value of your investment is going to go up either. But most investing products have fees and charges associated with them, so make sure you do check out, especially if you're going to a broker or an online provider like, say, Vanguard, for example, or Hargreaves and Lansdowne. They'll have different fees, and depending on how much money you invest with them, I think with Vanguard, if you've got £250,000 invested, they don't charge you any fees. With Hargreaves, I think it's £1 million that once you go over that, they don't charge you any fees. But work out the fees and then the return to make sure it works out for you. But the typical charges include investment management charges, admin fees, platform fees, entry costs, exit costs, and there are websites where you can find different types of funds. So make sure you take all of those into account when you work out what kind of a return you're going to get. But due to the widespread of the internet and the investments available, and also the investment scams, it's become more and more common now for sometimes people to invest online, and they might get scammed. So be careful, you stay away from those scammers. So it's important and imperative that you check with the FCA register before considering any investment to ensure that it is a legitimate company. So like I've used 2 of the common ones that I know of, Vanguard and Hargreaves, they're okay, but there are plenty others out there. I'm not looking to promote any one of them because I'm not offering financial advice, I'm just sharing information with you based on my own experience. But make sure you do your due diligence and your checks, because I have known people who have got stung and then you can't get the money back, I'm afraid. So nasty world in terms of some people out there who would just want to prey on people and scam them. So we all want to make sure we stay away from them.